I'm sitting here talking. Nothing's happening because I forgot to unmute myself. It's fine. Everything's grand. Okay, so connect. Yep, that's it. Happy Wednesday. That creepy enough? Trying to be creepy. Is it working? I just don't think I'm a creepy person. I mean, maybe I am. Okay. Start. Yeah, that's definitely that 11, 12, and then 13. I learned how to count today. I'm just kidding. 11 and 11. I think that's it. There we go. I'm officially ready for tomorrow. That took way too long. Okay. Close. Open. Let's try that. Okay, let's try that. Rock on, Jonathan. Are you anywhere good though with public Wi-Fi? Like, are you at the beach? I don't know, it's kind of cold to be at the beach. I mean, at least if you're gonna like, you know, be somewhere good, right? Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Oh, well, that's kind of boring. Order me a latte. Just kidding. Like, I feel like it should be. Where would be someplace cool? I don't even know where any place cool is anymore. Taking a nap is cool. Just saying. Okay. I'm getting my act together. Okay. I did it. I did it. I did it. Okay. I have so many toys on my desk. It's like bad. I got a new one. Can you post this on Moodle? Hold on. No, I cannot. I refuse. Yeah, I'll do it. Let's see if I can find my Moodle. There it is. Home. Dun dun dun. I didn't realize I forgot. There's so many things like covering. Zoom is way too many windows. It's just like everything's in the way. Okay, there we go. Um, Add resource file name. Mm, there we go. Uh-oh, wait, hold on. I have to stop it. Hold, please. I don't know why, but the draggy droppy thing doesn't like it when it's open. It complains. Okay, now I gotta find it. There we go. Got it. There we go. There we go. Start. There we go. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, there. It should be up there now. Thanks, Amber. We should be good to go now. Okay. How are we doing? Okay, seems to be slowing down, so I think we're doing good. You guys, we have presentations next week. Yay! That means you get to do all my work. I'm just kidding. We'll talk a little bit about it after we talk about the matplot stuff. I've heard it called matplotlib and matplotlib because it's like for library. I don't know. I just call it matplot. Okay. We ready, ready? Ready, ready? Okay, let's do it. Okay, so we talked about my new toys. I've got my new little Han Solo. He's like in the way. Um, okay, focus, Jennifer, focus. We talked about visualization in general last time, and so we are going to look at all the cool different. I'm trying to get rid of this window. There we go. We're going to look at all the different ways that we can do it using the Matplot package that is already kind of available for us for the Python. And it's actually very, very versatile. So what is it? Well, I'm going to actually click on this because we'll go to their website here in a minute and just kind of poke around. But it's a Python visualization library. Okay, so it's already built in. It does so much. Okay, plotting library, a mix full of all different kinds, completely customizable, and it's easily customizable. Okay, to use it, there's a few different ways. We can do it static, dynamic, or we can do a stateful. Oh well, there's no E in. Anyway, or stateful. If we do the percent matplot inline or matplot notebook, if you switch between any of these, you do need to restart your kernel. So just keep that in mind. So figure out one and use it. Doesn't really matter which one. Okay. Again, it's so versatile. So plotting, the easiest thing to do is X and Y are lists. And if you want to plot the list, you literally just say plot. Okay. Now I'm going to go with the assumption that we did the import matplot as PLT. Okay. So if you see anything with a PLT, it's going to be that import, just so that you know. And PLT is the typical one that we use. Okay, so X and Y are our lists to plot. Y is technically optional. Not every plot needs both X and Y. Um, but for this, it's just a line. So here I've got X and Y. There's some short code that you could put in here. You can change the color. You can change the line style, the labels. You can change all kinds of stuff. So first, let's look at different colors. So I can do colors by saying the names. I'm going to click this one too because it has a whole bunch. So blue, green, pink, whatever color I want. I can use short code, which in this link are all the short codes. I can also use a hex or an RGB. So here's the colors that they have. Okay. So here, let's say blue, green. There's the short code. Blue as blue, G is green, red is R, cyan, magenta, yellow, black. I mean, it's crazy. And then you can actually kind of use hex colors. Like I said, completely insane. You can also change the transparency of it. There's my graph that I borrowed. And you can also give it like a set of colors that you want to go, but the colors are just, I mean, phenomenal, out of this world. Now, line styles, we define it either by name and or by short code. Okay, this actually came directly from that link. And so there are named line styles where it's solid, dotted, dashed, dash dot. And then you also have a bunch down here where it's like loosely dotted, dashed, dotted. There's a whole bunch. Okay. So you can choose which line style you want. You can give the line style a weight, which is kind of cool. So it just gives a little bit more customization even to that. Okay. So when you use different line styles, okay, make sure that you choose ones that are not super closely related so that you can see the distinction. Okay, so that's kind of the biggest thing for that. So you might want to use like a dotted and a dashed and a solid. That would work because they are quite distinguishable. But if you start trying to do like the densely dashed and the densely dashed dot, that it looks the same. Okay, so just be careful in what you use. But like I said, go the Matplot website is amazing. Labels. So we can set all the labels, the titles. Okay, so you can do set title, set X label, set Y label. You can add legends. Okay, where it would add a legend onto it. We can set, you can do multiple things on a single plot. So I can say, plot, here's two lists, plot my second one, here's two lists, and then just show it. Okay, typically you're only going to do the show once. Um, but you can, as long as you use the same PLT plot, you can add as many things as you want to it. Okay. You can also set, we already talked about the title and the axis label. You can set limits. You can set axes, min and max. So here, even though my data only went to 4, I wanted to do from 0 to 5 on my axis. And the same thing with my Y. Um, when I did it naturally without specifying, my axis went from 2 to 9, and then from, I think, 0 to 4 or something like that. Well, I can specify here X limit, Y limit. I want it to go from 0 to 5. I want it to go from 0 to 10. And then you can say, okay, I'm going to show what this looks like. Okay. So a scatter plot is, we're going to look at a bunch of the different plots. So scatter plot, easiest to use. You plot with short codes. It you can also use a plt.scatter other than the plt.plot. The scatter gives you a whole lot more control. So if you're aiming for a scatter plot, go ahead and use the plt.scatter. Okay. Here I can see is a list of a list that's colors. S is the sizes because I can actually vary the size of my dot depending upon the value. Alpha would be transparency, and then CMAP is a color map of the colors to use within the plot. So if I do just a plain old scatter, it literally is just going to be a dot, dot, dot. Okay. Um, the color maps, though, again, insane. Um, and there's more than just these 3 sets. Click. There we go. So choosing a color map, you can say my color map, I want you to stay within the plasma colors. Okay. But so here there's uniform sequential colors. Here's sequential color maps, grays, purples, and it's like a single kind of monotone color. There's sequential twos, right? So now we're going spring, summer, autumn. We also have diverging color maps, and we have cyclic, we've got qualitative, and there's just kind of miscellaneous random ones. Okay. And what you can do is, again, you can change the transparency on it. So it goes from dark to light. And you can say, okay, stay within that like color family on my chart. So there's so much. And here it is with the dots. There's some transparency going on. There's sizes of the scattered dots. Um, and there's a color mapping kind of going on. But it's insane. There are also down here at the bottom some grayscale conversions. So if I specify I want the plasma and you happen to be plotting in a grayscale, this is what that plasma is going to translate to in Python with the grayscale. Okay. So anything more on this purple blue end is going to go to a darker black, and the orange yellow is going to go lighter. Let's see what else we have. We got I mean, there is so much here. There's the cyclic. See how it goes darker in the middle, lighter in the middle. Um, Again, we kind of talked about the color, like color blind and stuff like that, but the colors are kind of cool. There are all kinds of plot types. We're going to take a look at a few of them here, but this one is an error bar. And what you would do is send it the two lists, and then send it the Y error and then the X error. Um, we kind of talked about this with the jitter on Monday about like, okay, well, maybe it can go within here. You could kind of represent jitter in this way as well. Histograms will only take a single list, and it will kind of plot it by itself. The big thing with their histograms is your bins. And right, your smaller the bins, the smaller number of bins, the wider your bars are going to be. Right? So if I have one bin, it's just going to be one bar across. This has got 8 bins. Okay. So make sure your bins, we talked about binning on Monday and how it does change the look of your histogram. So you can specify the number of bins. Other types, this is a 2D histogram with bins, and then you can add the color mapping to it. And then finally, we can make different subplots. Now we're going to go into matplot here in a second, but it's going to allow you to put plots. They call it stacked, but you can either stack them horizontally, you can stack them vertically, you can do like a four quadrant type of arrangement. So you can get really kind of fancy when it comes to the subplotting. But let me pull up. So here, if I can, I'm just going to go to examples. So the plot types, there is just the plain plot XY that we talked about, the scatter, the bar, which is different than the histogram. Okay, so the bar is gonna take two, right? One for the X, one for the Y, two lists, whereas the histogram only takes one because the histogram is kind of like a count of how many things are at a specific value. Okay. We've got a stem plot, we've got fill, stack, stare, and then down here, we've got some of the statistical distributions that we kind of talked about, right? So there's my histogram, my box, my error, my event my pi that I don't like, um, my empirical cumulative distribution. Um, and then on all of these, it has examples on how to look through it. So like, here's a contour plot. And then they actually have some like notebooks and stuff that you can download, which is kind of cool. But here it would, you would specify specific things and it would do a contour plot. It does tri-contours and tri-plots, and we haven't even gotten to the 3D stuff yet. So down here, there's 3D bars, 3D just regular. I hate when I hover over it, it like turns black, but um, the 3D plots. So if I do that, I need to send it X, Y, and Z because we're going to do the three-dimensional scatter, the same thing. It needs X, Y, Z. Stem, surface plots. But so there is a ton of different plots that you can do. Okay. So I was just going to kind of, so a few things I want to point out for Jupyter Labs. So here I just made a random um, list for my X. Okay. And I just randomized X for a bunch, right? So then what I did is for Y, I said Y would be the sine and Z would be the cosine. That's all I did. And then I plotted it on a single plot. So you can kind of see how it goes. Now, I did not specify any kind of bounds on these. So sometimes it goes a little overboard with the bounds without specifying what bound you want. Okay, so that make sure you are getting what you think you are, and what you want. Okay, so if I come up here and I say PLT X limit, and I'm gonna say from zero, I mean 0 to 5. I'm just picking numbers out of the air. PLT dot Y limit 0. Oh wait, actually -1 to 1. Is that a comma? Nope. Negative -1 to 1. Because actually, isn't it like 3 pi and stuff like that? So if I run that, see how it adjusts the view. Okay. So when you use the plots, make sure that you're getting the view that you think you are. Okay. So let's see. Let's make it 10. Yeah. See, there we go. That's kind of like a full cycle. Um, Again, notice our axis is actually crossing at -1. You can fix that. Hello. You can fix that and put it at the 0 so it's more what you're used to seeing. Okay. You can add, let's see, let's just plot XY and plot 1. And then here, let's say PLT title. Let's see, sine of X. I don't know. I'm just playing. And I can do, oh, because I can't spell. There we go. And it puts my title up there. Okay. Again, there's so much you can do with this. It's just, I love it. It's great. X, Y, let me put my Z back in there. Let's run it again. And it takes my X and Y and then my X and Z and adds it together. Here I've got some kind of weird tangent thing going on. I've got a bar. So this bar down here, I've got, I did not specify the bins. So let me see, plot histogram. Let's put 20 bins in there. Okay, so I've got one that does 20, right? Then here I can say bins equals 2, and then I can change my bins. So replot the histogram with the number of bins. Remember, the lower number of bins, the more it just looks like a line. Let's see if I can do that one. Right. So it doesn't necessarily, I don't know, sometimes my brain thinks it feels like it's backwards, right? Like I feel like lower numbers should be like more fine, but it's not. And see, I can actually do as many as I want. Ah, there we go. Do you like that? Actually, let's see what 10 looks like. And it's so easy to just change that number real quick and hit the run, and it completely changes your graph. Okay, so that's really all about graphs. One thing I do want to go over kind of quickly is so for the API project, you can do it in a Jupyter notebook. It doesn't have to be written down on paper, but we are going to have the presentations are going to be starting next week. The papers are due, the submissions are due Friday. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but I was going to try and help. The Jupyter notebooks actually allow you to use markdown language. Okay, so here like this right here, this picture, I don't know, I pulled it off of like the Wikipedia picture of the day. Okay, so if you come over here to the right and you click the little sprockets, the little gears. Not really sure. You can change it to a slide type, but up here at the top, I changed it to indicate that it's a markdown. Okay. If I do that, I can use any of the markdown language at all whatsoever in that cell. And when I hit the play button, it will actually convert it to just plain text. Okay. So a few things here. I've got this one. This one's another markdown, and you can mix between code and markdown. Okay. So use the markdown for your explanations and things like that. And then you can have your code here to run when you need it. Okay. So see here, this cell up here goes to code. And then this one up here, if I could click it, if I double click on it, you can see the markdown. I'm gonna put in Moodle a like a markdown kind of like cheat sheet because I'm not sure. There we go. There's one. Maybe put this one. I think this is a Geeks for Geeks. Oh no, it's Markdown Guide. Okay. But I know GitHub has their own too, and the GitHub one's really good. But here, overview, you know, basic markdown if you need it, headings, bold, italic. You could input pictures, you can put links, you could put everything like that. So if you want to do and submit your API as the notebook, have at it. Okay. Just make sure that if you're using the markdown, it's correctly selected up here at the top, whether it's code or markdown. Okay, and then that way we'll know how to use it. You can then use this for your presentation, or you can put some stuff in PowerPoint and you can do your presentations that way. Sound good? We're gonna be fluid with this. We're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna share information. We're not panicking. It's gonna be like Halloween next week. You can't panic. Are our presentations the write-ups? They can be. Um, so you can do it however you want to. Okay. So if you write a paper, it'd be like a 2 to 3 page paper. But when you do the presentation, we need something a little bit more visual. So whether you want to take that and put it into a PowerPoint, that's fine. Or if you want to put it into a Jupyter notebook, that's fine too. So in the presentation, what did I say? 3 to 5 minutes. You're going to basically kind of give an overview, show an example of how it works, and like why you would use it, kind of why you chose it, why it's a good idea, things like that. How's that sound? How does that sound? Again, we're not going, we're not going to get upset about anything. It's Halloween week. You can't get upset about Halloween week. Halloween week's too much fun. Okay, URL. I'm going to put this here. Mark down cheat sheet. Oops. Sheet. Save and display. Okay, I just added the link to the markdown guide in there. Let me see if I thought I had one that I could download and put in. Um, or is it a link? Oh, I think it's just the link. Oh, it's the GitHub one. That's the other one I have. Okay, that one works as well. I'll put that one in Moodle too. Because you might be more used to using the GitHub one. And it's the same markdown that GitHub uses. What do you think? What do we think? Okay. We don't think anything. Is anyone awake? Anybody? Maybe?
Excuse me. I'm here.
Oh, thank God. Head empty. I mean, same. It's been a weird day today. It's been a weird day for anyone else. GitHub Markdown There's no S in Markdown. Oh, there's no T in Markdown either. Cheat sheet. Okay. So I put both those links in there in Moodle. Okay. Does someone else have a question? Anyone else have a question? No? Head empty. I like that. I'm just gonna say that forever. Head empty. Okay, my friends. Well, I will let you go super early then today, unless you have any questions. Discord chat me for any questions, um, especially when it comes to the project, okay? Please. But we're not
Okay,
stressing.
sounds good.
We're not stressing. Okay, goodbye, my friends.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.